I've had the good fortune of having the eyes of the llama upon me for 37 years. Now, I had no idea when we first got llamas that any of this was going to happen. In traveling with the llamas, taking llamas breeding to Oregon or Northern California, every time we'd stop at a rest area or someplace like that, we would see that the people there were so excited to see the llamas, and if they could come up and interact with them, they were just more than excited, and it's probably what they talked about for a couple days when they'd meet people. The whole concept of everywhere we go, people get such good vibrations from the llamas is what led me to take the llamas to People's Park in Berkeley just to share the llama love.
One of the best things for us was how it affected our family life. We have had a home for girls with special needs since '79, and we started to work more with the girls and see how their working with the animals also reduced their stress and gave them much pleasure. To me, that was really the moment that I really looked at these animals as therapy llamas. And we're developing a program here with the girls who live here to have them have the greatest amount of pleasure and good results by being amongst these lovely creatures.
We've purchased 11 young llamas to make into therapy llamas. In trying to do this with that intention has developed even more understanding, respect for the llama, and seeing even more of the potential that the eyes of the llama have for changing the world as we know it, to give it more of a in touch with nature, with the Pachamama. Someone from the Student Senate at UC Berkeley saw the effect the llamas had on the people and said, can you bring them to campus during finals? And it started a whole new thing. Colleges, universities in the Bay Area, plus the high schools, everybody they said, we've got stress, we want the llamas to come there as well. And everywhere we go, now we're doing it with intention of just making people happy, and it's just such a great feeling.
I've been bringing the llamas to UC Berkeley for the past 4 years, and it actually wasn't my idea to first bring llamas. We bring therapy dogs and other types of animals to come help students de-stress, but someone actually thought about it. And what about bringing therapy llamas? Because it's so unusual, it's different, it's a step above therapy dogs. And so I took over the whole event, and that's how I met Gio, because that relationship was passed on to me. And I loved working with the llamas the second I met them. It was one of the best parts of my college experience right away. And I love being able to bring the llamas to campus and see thousands of students wrap their arms around the llamas and just be so in love with the llamas the way that I first fell in love with the llamas. And I think it brings a lot of happiness to students. It helps us de-stress with finals, because we get very stressed out and we forget that these are just exams, and to put everything into perspective. And the llamas, they come into campus before we do our exams, and it's just a great reminder that there's more to life and that there's so many reasons to be happy and to be positive. And so I think for me personally, the llamas are just very calming. I love, wrapping my arms around their neck and hugging them, because it just puts me at a sense of peace. And I think that's what it does for a lot of students as well. It just reminds us to be peaceful and to enjoy our lives and take everything slow.
I have always had a very personal connection with animals from when I was very young. I've always been very interested in animals. I think they can teach people a lot that can't be taught in any other way. I think it's very important to communicate with animals, just because I think it helps you learn a lot about yourself as a person and be more in tune with who you really are as a person. And what I really like about the llamas is they're very gentle, and they just have a very graceful presence. Like they're just there. They're there and they're calm and they're doing their thing, and you can go up to them and you're like, "Hi, I want to join," and they're like, "Okay," and they'll let you join for a few minutes, and then you'll both go on your way feeling a little bit more relieved than you were going into the situation. And what's very nice about the llamas, which is why I appreciate Gio's vision for seeing them as therapy llamas, is they're really a point of stability. Like when a llama freaks out, it doesn't freak out. It's just like, give me a second, I need my time, and he'll move away and he'll calm down. He'll just sit there on his own or stand there on his own, contemplate, recollect, eat some grass, and then continue. Like it's never anything extreme, which I think is really like a very soothing thing, like for people who are stressed or people who are dealing with like whatever mental affliction they have, whatever it's caused by. It's like just seeing that there's this creature just there, it's just existing. It's doing nothing but existing, and it's doing it very peacefully and very calmly. Appreciating that and seeing that that's possible, I think makes it a lot easier and more possible for you to see how you can do that for yourself.
I first came into contact with llamas just in general because my best friend from high school had asked at the last Llama-palooza, how can I get involved in this in any way? And they said, oh, we need help, and if you could get some friends to join, we would really like that. And he asked me, and I didn't have super high expectations. I thought, oh, I've never met a llama before, it would be cool to just come and say hi. And we came to the Redwood Park, and it was transformative, to be honest. It was kind of this, like, I don't want to exaggerate, but it kind of was this soul-altering experience where, especially that moment when you're centering yourself with the llama and looking directly into their eyes, and you exhale and they exhale, and you're just completely connected in that way. It was something that I experienced to a certain extent with some animals, with dogs, and I also volunteer in an animal shelter, so I've gotten a lot of experience with animals, but there's something special about these animals in the way that they come to you and you can just connect with them right off the bat on this like very deep level. When the amount of familiarity you share with them, like, it should be superficial because you haven't known them for more than 2 minutes, but somehow you're already sharing this intense bond, which I just found amazing. So I came back to Llama-palooza and I was trying to get the other people there to experience that, and I get recognized sometimes on campus. People are saying, hey, you're one of the llama people, right? And I'm like, yes, do you enjoy it? And they say, oh, it's probably one of the coolest parts of going to Berkeley and one of the coolest parts of going to the college that I go to. So I think that is something pretty special about just these animals and being able to bring them to places where people are and where they can be with people, and I think the animals get something out of it too. I'd just like to thank Gio for letting me have this experience at all. I kind of just got weirdly roped into it my freshman year because I was friends with the person that asked about it, and it's proven to be one of the best parts of my college life so far. So yeah, thank you.
The llamas can actually handle that much interaction with people because they understand that they are doing this for a reason. And even my young llamas, some of them are already starting to realize what their work is really important. And as they get to be 5 years old, 7 years old, 10 years old, it's going to be so amazing to see how they grow. And this group of llamas is already growing so fast and learning so much. They're going to be the ones that really understand how to deal with people. I would love that everyone who sees this video has the opportunity to come meet some llamas that are being trained specifically in interacting with people on a personal level. It's such a different experience from a llama that's out in the field that may look at you or something. I've had the good fortune to be pressed into service through all the different businesses I've had to develop in order to pay to keep llamas, that I've got to see and meet all these llamas, and now developing their personality specifically for this. I would love to see a world where there's so many people making llamas for the purpose of making people happy in how they are interacting with people. There's so many people that don't have room for llamas. They live in the city, they live in a small place, you live in an apartment, you can't have llamas. But I'm trying to find some way to have llamas be available to people that want to see llamas, experience llamas, help train them, help show them what love is, because people, when they meet llamas, just want to love them, and show you appropriate ways that you could do this that makes them appreciate and want to understand people even farther.
George has gone on to really develop this concept of therapy llamas. So our journey has been a long one, and it started with just the pleasure of these creatures, and it turned into discovering the value of these animals and how it can help so many people.